Hey guys, welcome back. This is the Bitcoin market review for October the 20th, 2022. And as usual, before we get into the price section, into the setups, I'm going to show you the economic calendar for yesterday. And as you can see, we had a high impact news event at 8:30 a.m. Together with a medium impact news event and another medium impact news event at 10 a.m. And 8:30 is this big down candle here, so you can see the influence of the news event. And then the 10 a.m. candle is this right here, this up close candle. So we also can see a little bit of influence right there that it has on the market. So yeah, with that said, let's get right into the setups. And the first setup I want to show to you is actually a 15-minute setup. And I'm not gonna go chronologically right now because I want to show you the 15-minute setup first and then go to the lower time frame setups. But we have seen price push up in the early morning, like right away from the open. Price pushed up, then consolidated a bit, and then eventually, as it pushed up here, didn't take out that high yet, so there's definitely liquidity above, which wants to be taken, or which price wants to take. So after this consolidation, price starts to push up again right here, and this is where the 15-minute setup comes in, as we have, let me do this, we have actually like two fair value gaps right here. We have, actually I'm gonna draw it out both separately. So we have two fair value gaps right here. A upper one which is right around equilibrium, and then a lower one which is quite in a deep discount. And we see after price pushed up right here, not yet breaking this high, so we expect price to go up further. And actually I have forgotten something, I should denote the market structure break or a shift in market structure, which we have here. Actually we have it after breaking this candle right here, but I'm gonna use this because this is the nicer high. And yeah, price then drops back down into a discount, first fills the upper fair value gap, goes into the second fair value gap, goes into this down close candle which is an order block, so we would expect price not to run through this. It only touches it with the wick, and then price shoots off upwards, taking out this high and running for this high right here. Then price consolidates again, and then we have the 8:30 high impact news event right here, which drives price back down into this fair value gap, actually fills it, and then price shoots off into the distance after the 8:30 news event. Okay, so yeah, that's the 15-minute setup done, and now we drop into the lower time frames to look at some more setups. And the first one is actually on the 1 minute, or the first two ones are on the 1 minute, and they are right in here. Because we've seen a run up in the morning, the early morning, and then price starts to consolidate a bit. And in this consolidation or downwards consolidation, we actually have two quite nice setups. So we see price consolidates right here, and we have a low right here, another low right here with a fair value gap below. So once price starts to move down, we expect it to go into here, and right here we have a little bit of consolidation. Price moves back up and then drops down again, breaking this low right here, and actually also this low. So we have two lows broken. We have the fib tool now from the high to the low. We also can see that we have in this down move we have multiple fair value gaps. We have one right here, and we have another small one up here, which I'll try to try to draw out. There we go. Perfect. So price drops down, takes out too low, so we have a shift in market structure again. As we had just a little bit of upward consolidation here, price starts to break down again, and it looks like it wants to attack this low and the fair value gap below this bearish candle. So we see price pushes back up into premium, fully reprices the fair value gap. We can see the bodies of the candles respect this fair value gap, only the wicks go through. Further, we have this up close candle right here, which acts as order block, and if we look closely, we see these candle bodies respect this candle body right here. So that's very nice, that's respectance of the order block, and then price starts to move lower. It doesn't do it like in one big swing, it takes its time. And yeah, starts to move lower, and we actually have two setups right next to each other, pretty much. We see price pushes down, comes back up, goes into the premium, fills the fair value gap, and then starts to break lower. And when it starts to break lower, right here, so we not yet have broken this low, but what we see here is we have, okay, well, they noted like this. We see we have a little bit of a gap right here. From the close of this candle to the open of this candle, there is a little bit of a gap right here. That's the gap. And we see price comes back up, touches this gap, and then eventually when it moves down, comes back up into this area, so into a premium, and it moves lower, breaks this low, comes back up once more, nearly touches that gap again, and then eventually it really goes down to take out this low and go into this fair value gap right here, not an order block. And yeah, that's just a quick setup on the 1 minute, or actually two quick setups on the 1 minute. Okay, and we're gonna stay on the 1 minute for the next setup, and we just have to go over here. So we see upwards movement in upwards move in the morning, then a little bit of a consolidation here all the way until 5 a.m. and then starting at 5 a.m. price starts to push up higher to take out the early morning highs. And on this push upwards we have some setups, with the first one coming in right here. So we have like after this move lower, price starts to move up with a shift in market structure right here, and we have a nice fair value gap down here. Take out the fib tool, we can see price starts to move lower, first fill this upper fair value gap right here, because there is a fair value gap in here, it fills that, drops down into it, drops into a discount, and drops all the way below the low of this candle into the fair value gap. It does so ever so slightly, but as you can see it drops into the fair value gap, and then it starts to move higher. First attacking this high, this imbalance, and then eventually it attacks these highs over here and all the way over here. It takes out the early morning highs, and this actually was the setup on the 15 minute. This run up with the leg down, this was the entry for the 15 minute setup. So yeah, but in this up leg we actually have another setup. So this was the first one right at the bottom, so beautiful entry to catch this up leg, and then we actually have another one right here. So a little bit of consolidation, and then price starts to extend higher again, and price pretty much does the same thing. price drops back down below this candle. It actually touches this down close candle, which is the order block. If I, just for the sake of this, just for the sake of showing you this, you can see price drops back down, touches this order block right here, and then it moves up higher. So this is a quite a nice setup regarding an order block setup. And on the 3 minute we actually have some further confluence, like we can use it on the 3 minute. We can see price drops down, fully fills the fair value gap, and quite funny here, the candles respect the equilibrium line, so the 0.5 line, they respect it perfectly. But yeah, wicks down into the 1 minute order block right here, and then starts to continue higher to take out these highs and eventually take out this high over here. So yeah, quick setup on the 3 minute and 1 minute. So on the 3 minute we have a fair value gap, and then on the 1 minute we have the confluence to why price pushed as far down as it did, because it touched this down close candle right here, and then as I said, it moved higher. So nice setup. And now we can move on to a later setup, and just want to zoom out a bit to show you, like we had this run up in the morning, then a little bit of a retracement and consolidation, and then this was the second extension, consolidation, and then price pushed up once more to take out, or actually to fill an imbalance over here. I'm pretty sure that's what it did. Yeah, there's an imbalance up here, which this run up has not yet filled. So price runs up once more to fill this imbalance over here, and then price starts to push lower. And in this second run up here, we have a setup, or actually two setups. First one being from this low to this high. You can see this high ran all these highs over here, but did not yet run that one. So we expect price to go higher. We see a fair value gap down here, which price beautifully drops into. Spend some time there, only wicks through it, and then goes up, taking out this high. So we have that. And here we actually have, like, while this setup is still active, we have another setup, another entry. So if you would have missed this down here, price actually delivers another setup right here, not yet taking out this high. Price starts to push back down into a discount, fully fills this fair value gap, and then eventually pushes up. So we have two setups right here. First one being from this low to this high, price drops back down into a deep discount, fully repricing this fair value gap, and then starting to push higher, taking out this high. Price then comes back down into a discount right here, like this line is the 0.5 line, 40-second setup. Price pushes back down below, into a discount on the bigger setup right here, which is below this line where I'm just pointing my cursor at. So comes back down into a discount and then fully pushes up to take out this high. So that's just two nice entries we had right there on the 1 minute chart, and this was prior to the 8:30 news event. And as you can see, price ran up prior to the 8:30 news event, and then at 8:30 first it pushed lower, then it pushed higher to take some liquidity up here, and then drove price down, take out these lows and this low over here. And we can actually look at that on a higher time frame, maybe a little bit nicer to look at. So this was the run up prior to 8:30. Then at 8:30 we pushed lower, Then we had a little bit of consolidation in here, and then price started to move higher to attack the 830 high and to attack this high over here and these equal highs over here together with this high right here. And in this run up we have our next setup, and it is on the 5 minute. It's from this low to this high. You can see price pushed up. On this push higher it left behind a fair value gap right here, which, yes, the fair value gap is in a premium, but price drops back down into a discount, goes into this down close candle, which is an order block, and then shoots off higher to eventually take out the highs we just looked at. Just a quick setup on the 5 minute. And just let me check the recording. Okay, all good. Still recording. So where were we? Okay, yeah, we just looked at this run up right here, and then as you can see, price tops out right here and then starts to reverse and eventually move lower. Okay, and then here we have, first drop down and then a little bit of consolidation for lunch, and then after lunch price drops down once more, which is our next setup, this drop lower. And actually I want to look at it on the the 3 minute is where we want to be. So we have this drop down which takes out this low, but we still have this low over here with quite a big fair value gap. So we expect price to run lower. And right here we have a teeny tiny fair value gap from this low to this high. Yes, right there. So price moves down, moves back up, or like consolidates around equilibrium a bit, pushes back up into a premium, reprices the fair value gap, and then eventually starts to push lower to take out this high and rebalance this imbalance and actually drop down below this low and below this low, all the way into this imbalance down here, which you can see this imbalance was attacked. So quite a nice setup right after lunch at, what's that, yeah, like 1:20 p.m. So yeah, price dropped down, fully repriced this imbalance over here, and then consolidate a bit, and then we actually have like a drop down lower once more, or like we move up here and price starts to drop. And then this is also a setup we can journal right here, which is quite late. It's like 7 p.m. So price dropped down, not yet taking out this low, so when we come close to a low we expect price to run it. And we can see that first with a fair value gap right here, quite deep in a premium, price runs up, fully reprices the fair value gap, touches this up close candle, which is an order block, and then eventually pushes down once more to take out this low over here. So that's just a quick setup on the 5 minute, or actually on the 3 minute, which, yeah, it's just nice to journal, or good to journal, but it's quite a late evening setup. And yeah, that's all the price action from yesterday, all the setups from yesterday, all the good setups that I found. I hope you found it insightful. If you did, leave a like and leave a comment if you have any suggestions. And with that, we are done for today, and I wish you a nice day, and yeah, I hope you're safe. Bye.